How's the, I gotta imagine the confidence in the team just kind of snowballed as this season's gone on?
Yeah, I think it's certainly they've earned the right to feel pretty good out there. I think they're playing well, but we also understand that we're playing in this unbelievably crazy conference where I think it's 5 out of the top 10 teams in the country. We got to face them week after week after week, and so they're certainly tempered by the knowledge that it's a battle every night. I don't think we're buying into any hype by any means.
Facing that schedule, I can imagine that's great preparation for tournament time.
We'll see.
Come through this conference.
yeah. I mean, it's a lot, and I think it demands of you a level of consistency in terms of your ability to execute the skills in the game, obviously, but just emotionally and mentally, it demands a lot from you. So, no doubt, it's good preparation for big matches, hopefully later in the season.
What was the biggest takeaway out of this past weekend?
Well, I just thought our performance, on the road was good. It's one thing to play well at home. It's nice to see us putting some good performances together on the road, especially, in both matches getting into trouble and being able to figure out how to get out of trouble. That was pretty good for us. Yeah.
Defensively this year, Lauren Barnes has brought great consistency to the team all year. What has she been doing to become that consistent player night in and night out?
Yeah. Well, she practices hard and she's trying to make changes. I mean, we understand for all the athletes, what gets them to us, what gets them here isn't enough to get us to where we want to go. So part of our deal, part of the culture here is that you've got to be prepared to learn and make changes and improve. And this group in particular has embraced that really well. Certainly Barnsley's, another product of that.
What do you see in Taylor and how she's had to come back from multiple injuries?
Yeah, obviously some resilience. I mean, it could have been easy for her to decide that she didn't want to keep going. But to her credit, she stuck with it. And I think, as you can see, she's such a special and unique talent. I think it's great that she made that decision because there are very few people that can do what she can do, I think.
Were there times where she showed weakness of maybe not continuing and you maybe...
Oh, no, I just think it's a normal part of that process. When you're maybe you get one surgery, okay, you have a thought or two, but, after 4, my guess is that's amplified somewhat. So there are some questions, and it certainly challenged her commitment to trying to see the through, but, she's doing great. We're very, very proud of her.
Hugh, will tomorrow night have I'll say a tournament feel to it as far as just being in Wisconsin and the crowd and that kind of atmosphere?
Yeah, you'll expect a great crowd in Madison, and it should be fun. I mean, the great thing about playing in this conference is we talked earlier in this press conference about the caliber of teams you have to face, and getting to do that on the road and getting to do it in front of a big crowd, it's pretty special. It's a unique opportunity. We certainly see it as such.
What kind of challenges do they present?
Well, they're good. 5th in the country. I mean, they're the real deal, and they do some things really well, and hopefully we will be able to too. So they've got a lot of good players. In terms of the one or two things that obviously their middle attack is pretty special, and I think they're doing a nice job at the pins, so they can attack you from a lot of different zones. So we'll have our work cut out for us.
Does being on the best program start in school history mean anything to you guys?
No, I mean it's great, but history's history. It's what do we got to do today? That's what matters. Yeah.
You've coached a lot of good teams here, Hugh. At this one with that start, what makes this team different than others in the past?
Yeah, we have had a good run. A lot of good players, a lot of good teams coming through. But I think this group in particular, their commitment to the process, the whole idea of learning, as I spoke to earlier. I mean, they're really committed to coming in every day and working hard and getting better. And I guess the way I choose to describe it is the space between what they say they want to do and the actions that follow. What they're actually prepared to do is really small. Not that it was big in some of these other teams, but I just think these guys are living it at a better level than any group we've had thus far.
Is your offensive balance, is it more so this year than years past?
Absolutely. I think that's one, more depth, but I think Sam's doing a great job, just distributing, the hot hitter, if someone's going well, I think she's getting better at figuring out who that is and repeating them a little bit more. But also, given that we have this offensive depth, being able to find the weaknesses on the defensive side of things, seeing what our opponent is presenting and finding the best way to pick that lock. She's been really good at that. So some matches, some players are going for a high number. Other matches, other players are going for a high number. I think that's a lot to do with Sam, just being able to tactically pick apart the opponent.
Is there a trust factor with her, with your players too, and knowing she can go to different players?
Yeah, I think they're realizing that. I mean, for many of these athletes, they've been the star of their club or their high school, so they're used to seeing every ball. So I'm sure it's a little bit different. Some days you're getting every set, and other days you're not getting many. But again, to this group's credit, they show a lot of collective maturity relative to this idea that okay, offensively maybe I'm not seeing every ball right now, or maybe I'm not even having the best night right now, but I can help my team in other ways, be it as a passer or a blocker or a defender or hitting a good serve in the court or, cheering for my teammates. There's always value that can be added. And so having them understand that they don't have to define their performance by these offensive metrics, it's not just about hitting. It could be about helping your teammates. I think that's been a really great strength of this group.
Anything else?
Cool. Thanks, everybody.